Hi everybody, this is Tom with Culture Chap. So today I'm bringing you a play called Queen of Bingo. Now, I'm doing something a little different with this one. I have seen it a couple of times, and usually before I recommend a script to you, I read it first to see if I'm missing anything, and something told me to stop. And I know you're already about to turn this off. Bear with me. The When I first heard of the play, I thought it was about two Southern women because their names were Babe and Sis. And in the United States, that usually is Southern Georgia, New Orleans, that kind of thing. And their real names sounded very Southern to me as well, which I'm going to skip here. But when I saw it, it was done with New Yorkers, and I was like, oh, this fits too. And I know from my audience statistics, analytics, that I get some viewers from the United States, thank you. But I get a lot from Canada, I get a lot from South America, Argentina, Peru, a lot from Mexico, and a lot from the UK and Ireland. And which would be natural because I am a dual citizen and I work there frequently. I'd like it to be more frequent. um, and Italy and Vienna and there's a lot of people that are looking at things globally. Which is why I sort of transitioned into recommending plays because I got everything out that I wanted to say, like learn your lines and learn how to talk to your lighting designer. I got all those videos out before, and you could see those in my videos from the months past. But this one should be, Queen of Bingo, should be something for any country to do. Any location, anything. After I talked about it with my friend saying, I thought this play was Southern, and it turned out to be New Yorkers, and it fit just as well. And I said, something strikes me that it would do really well here. And this was in Galway, Ireland. And so he read it and he directed it. The phrases work very well for that country as well. Some of the way they structure their sentences in this, you can see why I thought it was Southern being raised here, but I'm from a family of immigrants, and Irish on one side, and Scottish and English on the other, and all these lines fit for the way those people talk. The crux of it is Babe and Sis are sisters. I liked the Irish one because it seemed to be like they had the same mother but not the same father. Very good casting. And they use lines. Here's one of the things I hate about it. One of them is very fit and sort of a show-off. And the other sister is always battling the bulge. She's overweight, and it really bothers her. And she says things like, I refuse to buy a size 18, so she squishes into clothes that are too small for her. But then, because there's a lot of gossip in the show during the bingo game, they do make too many references to making fun of obese people, which gives me pause. I wonder why. But in the Irish version, rather than the New Yorker version, after they would do this, you could see waves of guilt over both their faces, which was great. And that made it so much more real. When they say and here's one of the phrases I thought could be any country. When the New Yorker said it was like making fun of the obese person that was also there, one of the lines is, oh, her pants, it looks like a yoke of oxens are holding it together. Well, okay, that's pretty old world. And when the Irish woman said it, it really worked. It worked well in both instances. I did see something online where it was drag queens doing this, and that gives me pause as well, because why are we taking roles away from middle-aged women? Babe and Sis are over 50. They could be over 60. They could be over 75. I don't know. Cast it the way you think. It requires a lot of talent to do a two-person show. Technically, it's a four-person show. But just women sitting and gossiping and relating about their lives and talking about every topic under the sun for an hour 20 minutes, and they're just sitting there. There's not a lot of blocking. And if they're gossiping and there really is no just gossip, it gets a little dull. I liked the Irish version because the one who's overweight and her sister who feels for her sister who's overweight, you know, there was, we shouldn't be doing this, but we don't like her, so we're talking about her, but we don't know her, so we're talking about her weight. Guilt. You should feel guilty about that. It's not good. Um, I also saw a video of drag queens, like I said, and when they talk about menopause and having hot flashes, no, it just took me out of it. No, no. Stop taking roles from older actresses. There's a ton of roles that you can play if you want to play roles in drag. Not this show. Just don't. It doesn't work, in my opinion. Also, growing up in an immigrant family in San Francisco, we wanted to blend, we wanted to mix, and drag queen bingo is not new to San Franciscans. It's probably not new to New Yorkers or people from Atlanta. It's always been there. It's been there my whole life. Drag queen bingo was a thing. Now, in this show, there's a priest and there's a bingo caller. Now, you can dress the bingo caller up as a drag queen because that's the kind of stuff that I would see as a kid and still exists today. I would also choose this show. Maybe it is you're looking at it because it's an inexpensive set. You could use folding tables. You don't need much of a backdrop. You can recycle other backdrops. I did see it in Ireland with a recycled church hall backdrop from another show. Excellent. Excellent. Very realistic. I think the show works well when you add other people. When there are other tables behind them, if you just want to do it with two women, great, you can. If you want to add something, especially to those players that are always bugging you for bigger parts than just ensemble, okay. Well, here are some fun roles, some serious roles, some kind of be background action roles that you can really show me your talent. So you be the background and really learn in this play when to take focus and when to not take focus as the other people in the bingo hall. It could be good. The focus is on the two women, but it makes it much more interesting for a show that is just about two women sitting and playing a game to have other things happening. You can have them be silent, you can have them hold up their bingo cards and exclaim, or they can yell bingo, and the person, the drag queen caller, comes over to check their thing. There's the caller's off stage, but you can reintroduce them. That's good, that's realistic. You can have the priest come in to do that. It's a bingo game. There should be somebody winning because in the script, the one sister is sort of addicted to bingo and she laments that she doesn't win that frequently. Which you wonder why, but then that's the nature of addiction and that kind of thing, and her loneliness and the other sister's loneliness, and this is what they do together, which is nice. You can add a lot more into this than just appears on the script. Sisters, menopause, over 50, over 70, whatever. It should be something that is the women we know in our neighborhood. This show is the women I grew up with. Both the Irish aunties in my background, the Mexican aunties in my background, the way I grew up, the Japanese ones, it's very familiar. It's extremely familiar. The more I heard the lines, the more I just kept flashing in my brain, like a director does. Like, God, this is like, it's not very French. It's very French-Canadian, the way they talk. It's very Brazilian, the way they talk. These are people that I'm really familiar with in my neighborhoods. You could do it in any country you want. Now, I believe. So see if the lines work for you and for your country, and your area and your state, your province, whatever it may be. It's a good play. It really only runs about an hour and 20 minutes. With the changes I'm proposing with extra people and bingos being called and so forth, and the caller coming to check it out, you could add time to it. It clips right along. I do not think that from the one version, the New Yorker version I saw, I'm not going to tell you who that was, um, just sitting doesn't work. The Irish version, of course, it's my friend who directed it, and in a country that I love, in a sort of like a humor that I'm used to, um, that I grew up with, I liked it a lot more, but they believed in a lot more blocking. Things would fall off the table. Babe or sis would get up and pick things up and scold the other one. There were no lines to support this. It was really funny. The turning around and looking at the other people who won and being like, ugh. It was really good and seemed really realistic. The the people they gossip about are never behind them, they're always in front of them or off to the side. Okay? Again, some of the guilt about the gossip, especially the obesity, I think makes this work. You can't remove those lines. I don't think there should be as many about fat and obesity. That's just me. Handle them the way you want to handle them. I do believe in a layer of guilt in saying these mean things because they are mean. Um, it's more than my one friend described it as like, oh, the lines are so good, and it's like Sophia on Golden Girls. I'm like, yeah, but there was a difference there because she was that age, making fun of other people that age or close to her age. So, hmm. Handle it the way you want to handle it. It's a very good script. Everything's in the description. It's a good play. If you want something inexpensive, it's an excellent play. If you want to just hire two actresses that haven't gotten roles in a while, that have talent, excellent play. If you want to introduce those new people, those ensemble members, this is a really good learning lesson. And having someone of every age, every color, every race in the background, bingo is a thing globally. Maybe it's not in your area, but it could be in your country, something that other areas do, and you're like, huh, never knew about this. Queen of Bingo, just the title gets people in seats. I looked at the reviews. This place sells and sells and sells. There's something about this, the familiarity of these kind of people. Curious about why they go so frequently. What is it? Is it a social thing? It is a gossipy thing. For these women, it's a sisterly thing. It's interesting. All right. Have a look. See if it's your theater. Please come back for more. We'll talk again. Bye.